Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. We have rushed back to Nauvis, where we had some biters doing some nasty things to us. On the way, I blindly, on the map mode, put down a bunch of laser turrets in various places to see if that would help. I don't know if we're getting more attacks yet, but we're going to, and I really need to get my attacker thingy going. I need to bring in my shoulders lasers, and I think I have a combat area, basic armor kit, basic mats, defense. Was it defense? Yeah, defense has a whole bunch of good stuff for defense. So I need to go pick up my shoulder lasers, have robots bring me all the other stuff. There we go. So we're going to sacrifice those. I'm going to grab my shoulder lasers like that. I'm going to need a blueprint for a defensible area. I think I'm going to make it kind of like this. Oh, come on. Take you guys out, you guys out, you guys out. Boom, boom, boom. And walls. So we're going to make some bumps in our walls that look like that. Are we done yet? We are waiting on some more stuff. Okay. So in preparation for this, I also have put out a whole bunch of power lines and roboports. So we now have logistic connections to our old defensive areas here. And we are going to be getting some attacks. How we doing here? Almost ready. It looks like that's all the lasers we've got available. So I'm going to come up here. Oh, am I carrying any robot? I'm not carrying any robots. I need to be carrying 100 robots for this to work. Get our robots in. There. So if we come across any attackers, we've got shoulder lasers that'll take care of them. I can ignore them. So you see I striped in a whole bunch of these. Now I think our first problem is going to be up here, so we're going to rebuild this area. We're going to start with that. I'm going to do this guy. What I want to do is center it on the grid. That should be good. Okay. Next one. I don't need to put these in every cell. They will be replacing all of my pillboxes. Oh, apparently I've got something that is turned on. Don't know what that is. Are those intended pathing? I do not need to put these where they need. Yeah. So if you need to put down landfill, that to put the wall there, then I probably don't need the wall. Okay, so that gives us a bunch of lasers. And what I've seen in the past is that the big guys walk in to the lasers. So what we're going to do is going to go from here. I'm going to adjust this a bit. I don't know what the optimum size is for Dragon's Teeth, but what I want to do is get these set up so that they tend to not get too close. If I can get one of them, that's probably going to be enough. Yeah, we're not symmetric. I'll take it. Grab this. And I won't worry about the corner bits there. Okay, I think we're good. Now the question is, how close is this guy to sending another attack group? Not close at all. I don't want to be killing him because I think we're going to be capturing these spawners at some point. So I'm going to mostly leave them alone. But when they start attacking, I do want these to be well defended. Now, eventually we'll be adding Tesla turrets to that. Okay, that looks good. Let's throw our pollution cloud up, and it looks like we are well clear on the south and on the west, so I'm not going to worry about the south and the west. So panic is over. And turn that stuff off. Turn my carry around base back on. We can delete the Fulgora rail from our current setup. There we go. Now, I mentioned that I wanted to move my my rocket areas. We're actually kind of limited right now. We tend to wait for rockets. What I want to do is I want to put these down starting from here and going off to the left. That's going to require, oops, let's put in one here and one here. I'm going to leave a space in between them. Okay, so that's clear of that, but it's not going to be clear of this. Now, if I pick this up, I'm going to send this to the right. I start here. Two, 3, 4, 5. In fact, let's go big. This is what I call a major launch complex. We are not going to be getting it all completely built yet. As there are places where there are gaps, I will fill those in when I'm pretty sure we're actually working. Oh no, let's go ahead and fill it in. Why not? We have decent production. What I really want, I don't necessarily want to keep all these firing at once. All these, not firing, I don't want to keep them all building all the time. But what I do want is I want them all to be firing. Now, we are going to need to present our inputs to these guys in the proper order. And I don't know what order they're going to come in when I bring them down. So I'm going to presume that I have to swizzle them. So, output priority to the right is rocket fuel. Okay. Now, if rocket fuel is all the way to the right, and we know the other two are all the way to the left, so the next one is going to be all the way to the left for low density structure. Now, same thing for this, but in this case, I need to flip it vertically. So again, the rocket fuel comes on proper line. We have researched Tesla weapons. Huzzah! So, Tesla weapons are what we are going to be using to kill things on Vulcanus. I need to do a couple things now. I need to export the Tesla weapons from Fulgora, and I need to start beefing up their abilities. However, there are some things I need to do first. Automation 3 and Logistics 3. So we want to get Mark 3 assemblers, and we want to get the express belts. We need to get those going. I also need to do nuclear fuel reprocessing. We are running a very, very large nuclear reactor, and it just keeps turning out these chunks of bad stuff, which we need to get rid of. What else are the most important things for us to get researched right now? inserter capacity, worker robot cargo size, worker robot speed. Is there anything else here that is more important than those? We've got some infinites. Some of them are really great, like steel productivity, mining productivity. These are all really awesome, but it's what do we need to get right now? And I think I need effective transmission as well. Let's even move that in front of the robot stuff. In fact, I'm going to do robot cargo size 2. We're not going to do anything that's a size 3 yet. Quality 3s will come, but they take special things to make them. We will be exporting those from Fulgora, but not quite yet. I think that's our research for now. So we now have 3 components and the 3 components like that. I am going to grab this. Because this slides in right here. So this is our same priority split of the 3 belts, so that we will send everything to the upper half until it backs up, and then everything to the lower half. Now we need to bring the rocket parts down to the south. Well, what I'm going to do is do something similar up here. Let's grab this. And we're just going to put it right on top of that. Okay, so we're prioritizing sending to the old rocket array first. And now we're going to go to the other side of this. I'm going to do this in blueprint mode so I can just zoop it down. There we go. And I am so happy that I set up the splitters so that I don't care what's on which one. I don't need to check. And it looks like, yes, we are moving things into the right areas. We're filling up the first one and the second one and so on. Now these are going to fill until they get to N. Well, N is green on these guys, and I didn't set that up properly. So we need to get N going here. You have to connect it to these guys. Okay. These guys say thing less than N. Okay. So we put in a constant combinator. Constant combinator is programmed with N being the number of items that we want to put into the box. I'm going to say 50, which will help us get this thing going faster. So we're going to put 50 in the box, and then we're going to stop putting them in until this guy takes more. And so on all the way down. Now, who is making the rocket silos? We have one guy here making rocket silos. Okay. Might do better if we actually did him with a parametric production. So I'm going to put a parametric producer over here, just like this. You are making rocket silos. And you're going to make sure there's 2 in the logistics area. And we're going to trim all of this off here. Come on, put the power plant down. There we go. Now, this has a weakness. Okay, we're getting all of these with just the one guy. So I am going to have you be a little more exuberant about your inputs. Your big inputs are steel plate and concrete. So you are going to do all the steel plate over here. And you are going to do all the concrete. Moreover, we're going to request in the full size on the steel plate and the concrete into these requesters because we want to keep building these. So you no longer do steel plate or concrete. I'm going to split you off to the right there. Power, come on, power. Okay. You're going to be doing blue chips and engines and one thing per box. So quantities, 200 blue chips and 200 engines. Let's fix those. You don't really need the whole thing in there, but I like to do that. Now, with that in place, I believe I can just dismantle all of this. I need to copy the green down before I do that, though. So we're going to take this thing, which has the green wire all set up in it. And now everybody's got the right green signals, so we are inserting all the right stuff. I think what I'm going to do, rather than take up those rockets, is I'm going to kill this off. I'm going to stop feeding them with materials. Okay, so the rockets that are here will be able to launch. I won't lose their materials. So insert a capacity bonus, done. So I didn't stop when we've got some stuff done there. Insert a capacity bonus is always a good one to trigger. We're doing that. Doing that. So we actually have the ability now to build blue belts and the better assembling machines. So let's put those in the hopper here. So first off, I want to build assembling machine 3s, and I want to build until I have 500 in stock because we're going to be exporting these. But to support that, I also want to be continuing to build assembling machine 2s, 100 in stock. We'll triple that up so that we can produce them rapidly for export. Okay. So now let us find our belt array. Oh my goodness. All of our red belt production is these guys down here. Well, this guy is on his last legs. So I need to do a belt array. We're going to put it over here. Wait a minute. We're going to do the belt array using robots. Yeah, let's put it in the robot stuff. I can put it here. Okay. So, the whoosh of the rockets launching. I love it. I'm going to center this within the power area, I think. Oh, yeah, we can center it just like that. Okay, so let's start building up this thing. I will be using the lubricant from over there. So first off, let's actually just put it on. Let's put it on this. Yeah. So you are building express underground belts. We're going to be exporting those. And you are building express transport belts. And again, we're exporting these. I'm going to go 2,000. And down here, I'm going to put express splitters, 1,000. Okay. Now, all of these guys have this 3 out here, which we need to get rid of. Well, we don't need to get rid of it, but I find things to be more, less confusing, I'll put it that way. Okay, so now, power and logistic coverage. There we go. So there's all the blue stuff we need. Now, next to that, I'm going to put the red stuff. And I'm going to assume we need to be serious about red. So red and red. We're going to keep the quantities small, but I need the number of machines to be appropriate. We will check what the balance is in a moment. Okay, so you guys all together. Try this again. That actually balances perfectly, which means I need to take this whole thing. Okay. And this is going to require some yellow stuff. Again, we're only doing quantity 100 because we're not building yellow for export. Okay, is that balanced? So, let's do for the whole array. To make this balance, I'm going to need 2 more yellow splitters, 2 more underground belts, and 6 more of the other guys. Here we go. Now, these guys need gears. Hey, I wonder if we're getting... I don't think I've actually got those done yet, but let's set this up. On the way 50. Okay. So we are going to need to make some gears. I'm going to put 1 gear machine in here. Oh, and this is going to be in the way, isn't it? Oh boy, 332 gear machines. Well, we need all the gear machines. That's okay. We'll just put in a whole bunch of them and hope. And we're going to say, actually, let's put one over here. You are gears. You are building to a quantity of 1,000. Boom. Boom. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we wanted to run everybody at rate. We would need a lot more gear machines. This, however, will get us some production of gears into the logistics network. And it will start getting us some blue chip, some blue belts coming out. Oh, don't really need you, do we? Now, somewhere down here, I do have these guys making 2 modules. I am going to need a lot more productivity modules. So let's just do that for now. Now, upgrades. Current upgrade. We actually have this already in the current upgrade. This is adding modules, which we're not going to do quite yet. I think the rest of this is good. What do we want to do to upgrade first? I'm thinking I could drop a current upgrade on the blue belt stuff. That will upgrade all those machines to Assemblers Mark III. Eventually we'll do the whole thing. First we have to get production up. Now, let's go find... Let's see. How are we doing down here? Have we filled in any more rocket silos? We filled in a few more rocket silos. Good. So the rate at which we do this is really dependent upon how fast when we receive the goodies that we need. Yeah. Well, he might be okay with an upgrade. Let's put our current upgrade on a hotbar. And let's hit him with it. There we go. I could also do this area. Since these don't need any belts, that's a good thing. I want to see a whole bunch of assembly machine 3s in stock before I start doing wholesale stuff. We currently have 11. That's not going to be very good. So I haven't heard a blip out of these guys. Do I see any corpses here? I don't see any corpses. Apparently they haven't attacked. Oh, wait a minute. That might be corpses. I don't know. Hard to tell. Okay, so, power. It might be time to increase power. Let's get the power going, just in case, because now's a kind of a pause in the panic. I'm not sure which way this is supposed to go. It's either that way. That way. It's got to be this way. There we go. So Control Shift to put that down. And now we need to picks up those bits. So I'm going to grab from here out all the way like that. Okay, now from here all the way down to here. So that will get each one over to the next. There we go. And now these guys, like that. They're still waiting for landfill. That's fine. This will make sure that our re-engineering that I did is still proper. There we go. Now the next thing is we have all of these depleted uranium fuel, so let's go take care of that. And everything else is kind of moving along. So I want to take care of the depleted uranium fuel cells. Also, the uranium area was done before we had requester chests, so it might, I might be able to improve it some. In fact, I'm sure of it. Massive numbers of robots carrying landfill. Okay, so what I could do is I could change these to buffer boxes, requesting in all of the stuff. So you are 100 per 1,000, 4,000. I'm going to set this into request 4,800 of these. Okay. That would deconstruct. That's no good. I need to stripe these across manually so that they don't get deleted, and then copy the requests. And these guys need to request in 4,800 hot rods. Just like that. So that maintains all the connections here. And I am going to do something similar out here. And I'm going to do something similar for these guys. Now, buffer chests cannot request from buffer chests. Now these are going to fill. So we're going to basically stand here. Well, no, we're not. We have other things we need to do real quick. You are doing the new thing, nuclear fuel reprocessing. Depleted uranium fuel cell goes to uranium-238. Okay? And you guys are going to be fed by a requester chest. One of these is actually going to be enough for all of our usage ever. But we have a whole bunch of them right now. So we're going to do that. Cold rocks are near us, so we're going to go boom, 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 like that. Start producing electric power by nuclear power plant. Okay, so what's happened is we did whatever it is that triggers it checking for that achievement. Now we had it from before, but now we've got it from now. Okay, you guys, I'm going to throw speed modules in you. Because we just want to get all of our depleted uranium dealt with. I'm going to put in these 4 guys, which are going to be... Oh, hold on, make sure this is trash unrequested and request from buffers. And you are going to be requesting depleted uranium fuel cells. And those should eventually be brought up from the reactor where they've been building up. These guys really need to be red chests, don't they? Yeah, they do. In fact, unless all of these are completely full, yeah, we need to just delete all of this. Let the robots do their thing. And if we have a whole bunch of uranium that is above our current ability to deal with, oh, good Lord. Turn off my bots. There we go. We're going to have to find something to do with all that uranium-238 that we built up without noticing. Oh, and actually what I just did breaks this. So what we need to do is not trash unrequested. Hold on. I may have increased the capacity of these guys from what they were before. That's why it drained the belts, because these are now bigger chests. Okay. In any case, I am betting that these are just nearly completely full. So we're going to have a lot of the uranium. What can we do with this? Used in fuel, Covarex, uranium rounds. We could make a lot of uranium rounds. We have so much extra uranium. We could just smash uranium rounds around. I don't know if I want to put them on my mobile platforms, though. It's an idea. And I really like the Tesla stuff. I don't know if I'd actually use them. Anyway, it's an idea. Maybe we recycle them away. Maybe we bring them back down here as necessary. Certainly, it's a gimme that we won't be releasing this anytime soon. So these guys are saying if we have less than 60K uranium-238 in those boxes, this will release. What's going to happen is, as we take it out of the box, we'll be requesting more in, and that will steadily decrease the stocks up above. And the reason I want to do buffer chests instead of requester chests is so that these are now still on the logistics area. What I think I will do is put the last 7 of them I'll make you guys requester chests. And I'm going to make these guys requester chests. There we go. Request from buffer chests. Okay. And request from buffer chests. There we go. So we will have some of these that will not be pulled out by the bots. So that'll guarantee that we continue running. And as we use some, we'll use some from over here. That will pull more in from our main logistics network. If we use a lot more of that, eventually we'll get down to here where we won't be allowing it to go any further. I really should have this going in one direction and out the reverse direction, shouldn't I? Since this won't refill these... No, I guess this is okay. Are you guys actually working? Not enough bots. So we have 12,000 logistic bots, 3,000 are available, but the ones that are available can't get all the way down here to take care of these requests. It's coming up in yellow. That's fine. I think my next thing, I'm going to kick back and I'm going to let the factory run. And I want to actually research everything we can possibly research with the sciences that we have unlocked. And that's just going to run for a while because there's a whole lot here. We will eventually be going either to Gleba or Vulcanus, probably Vulcanus first. By everything, I don't mean all the infinite science out to infinity, but I do mean get some of the infinite science done. But I want to get everything done that's not infinite science, that doesn't require any other planets. So this is going to be my chance to just kick back and enjoy the game for a while without recording, because it's mainly just going to be me waiting. If I see anything interesting happen, I will drop a save and I'll do an episode. And I am betting that we won't even have a pause in publication because I have enough days ahead that the hours I spend herding the robots to do this are probably not going to put me beyond the limit. So with that said, I think this is a recording, and I will see you in the next one. Much time will have passed in the factory.